community statement of being. There is one presence and one power in this church, in our lives, and in the universe. God, the good, omnipotent. 5 unity principles. Unity principle number 1, God is absolute good, everywhere present. Number 2, God lives in us, therefore we are inherently good. Number 3, we are co-creators with God and create our experiences through our thoughts. Number 4, prayer is creative thinking that heightens our connection with God mind. Number 5, it is not enough to simply know these principles. We must live the truth we know. Amen. Would you mind standing and take out your hymnals, or keep your hymnals open, and turn to page 183. I am the radiant light of God. Page number 183. I am the radiant light of God. Yourself to move inwards. If there are any thoughts that you're experiencing in this moment that seem to get in the way, I invite you to gently tell your thoughts, peace be still. This time of sacred connection with the highest part of you to be in your conscious awareness. For it is in these beautiful moments, in this blessed silence, where we are able to silently harmonize, monitor, and if necessary, modify our thoughts, where we can be shepherds, good good shepherds to our thoughts. Being gentle with them. Monitoring them. And modifying if necessary. For these thoughts are a part of us. They are one with us, just as we are one with God. There is no separation of our thoughts from us, just as there is no separation of us from spirit, from God, from principle. Whatever name feels comfortable to you, know that you are intimately connected to it. And it is just as much a part of you as you are a part of it. Allow yourself to be still and know that you are God. Be at peace. And bask in the arms of beloved Spirit. Benevolent presence that sees the highest in you. At all times sees the magnificence in you. Sees your potential. Sees your creativity, sees all of the unique aspects that you bring, and sees all these things as treasure. As irreplaceable treasure. This benevolent presence if it were to have a desire, it would have only one desire. That is to establish in its beloved creation a greater relationship with it. For it loves its beloved creation more than the human mind can ever comprehend. So I invite you to contemplate on just how loved you truly are. That the very in you. It is the core of your very being. You are the offspring of love itself. Beautiful child of love. Know who you are. Know who you are. So enjoy these beautiful silent moments. And experience your oneness with this benevolent presence. Experience your oneness with your brothers and sisters. For we are all in this space. We are all united. There is only one of us. And we are it, as it is us. So as we prepare to end this time of meditation, I ask that my brothers and sisters all here who are awaiting this message today, join me in oneness. Prayer. As I ask Spirit to create the space within me for the delivery of today's message. To instill within me beautiful aspects and truths in order to be shared energetically to waiting and willing ears. We are grateful to be a part of this process as willing participants. We are grateful for this day and this opportunity to experience our oneness and pray together, with the intent of experiencing new understandings, new insights, new awakenings, realizations of who we are. And so we are also grateful that it is already done. For anything that is asked is already answered. It is already done in the mind of God. And so we feel this gratitude in the name and after the loving nature of this beautiful, benevolent presence. And that is spirit, and source, and fountain of all that there is. And so it is. Amen. All right. And we have a choir here. They're going to sing us another beautiful song. Please stand and take out your hymnals again and turn them to page number 185. I'm the expression of infinite life. Page number 185. I'm the expression of infinite life. So, we've had a 4-part series. This is part number 4 of God as You, God as Me. Part 1 was the power of acceptance. Part 2 was the power of meditation and prayer. Part 3 was the power of forgiveness. Today we're going to discuss the power of belief and faith to move mountains. So, I start all my talks in this series because it's important that we take our understanding of God to include us. And so when we have these traditional symbols of God, as I've said in numerous talks, as I've said in this series, we miss the mark on understanding or associating it with us. So let's talk about what is God. And I say every time, God is wholeness. God is wholeness. That is all that there is. So that means God is the sunny day and the dark and stormy night. Both serve a purpose. God is the star in the heaven and the black hole that devours that star. Both serves a purpose. All things serve a purpose. All serves a purpose. In the book of Psalms, chapter 52, verse 6, it reads, I said you are gods, all of you, children of the Most High God. That's you. You are gods. I understand that, maybe some of us get a charge with that. Some of us feel, not connected with that. And again, I say again, that is because we have these ideas of what God is. We have these ideas of what good is. And so what about all the other stuff? We have these traditional symbols of good. And so all the things that make us happy, that's good. But things that don't make us happy, things that don't feel good, that's not good. Okay. God is a constant stream. Everything that God is good. Everything that God is serves a purpose. As I stated in previous talks, there is the parts that we experience that contributes to our serotonin and brings smiles to our face. And that falls in the traditional. That's God. That's good. But we don't grow from that. Then there's other parts that don't feel good. And so we miss the point. Because those aspects are what really create the growth. That's what really takes us to the next level. So, that is who you are. Now, you are wholly perfect. You are complete. But why doesn't it feel that way? Why do we often not feel that way? See, that's what we're going to discuss today. We're going to discuss that. We're going to discuss our beliefs. So, our beliefs, and I'm going to talk about this from the standpoint of neuroscience today. You see, in previous talks, I would talk about it from the standpoint and give labels as far as causality and effectual and things like that in order to describe. But today I'm going to talk about it from the standpoint of science, of neuroscience, as a matter of fact. So, our beliefs are what create our perceptions about the world. Our perceptions about the world are what creates the themes that we experience. You know what themes are? Themes are like life lessons. Themes are based on things that we're thinking about ourselves. Like when we watch the movies, look at the movies, and we see the good guy, you know, they have a theme. They have like some theme music playing, right? You know, and you can really feel it, you know? And then you have like the villain. And see, they got their own theme music, you know, because their mind is occupied with, you know, doing evil things, you know, and it's usually like dark and ominous. So, yes, there is an objective world, yes, there is, but see, we experience the world based on our themes. And we all have these different themes, you see? Now, what creates this, what creates our world, is our unconscious. And so our unconscious, it processes information a whole lot faster than our conscious mind. Our conscious mind can only process, you know, a few bits of information every second. Our unconscious mind, however, is blazing fast. And so it can monitor our body, it can maintain our heart rate, it can maintain all of our, you know, our metabolic levels and all sorts of things. It does everything as far as the body, our unconscious mind. It does this all the time. It also takes all the information that's coming through our senses and then creates a construct of a word. Now, also what is in the unconscious are our beliefs that we have about ourselves, you see? So we have these beliefs, you know, for example, however we accumulated these beliefs is not important. However we got these beliefs doesn't matter. Most of them were gotten in our earlier years, in our developmental years, when we were young, okay? Some of the big ones. But we get other beliefs later too. We get other beliefs. We get beliefs in numerous ways. So what happens in this construct, in the unconscious, is it constructs our world. But see, this world that we're experiencing is not just free as like a filter where we can just basically experience the external world. No, it also includes all of our information that we believe about ourselves in there, like we're walking around with some theme music. Okay? Our emotions, all of this is unconscious. It is not conscious. Our emotions arise from our unconscious. That is not conscious. We're not consciously over our emotions. It naturally happens based on our beliefs. Okay? So, neuroscience, in a number of articles that I read, they have labeled it a behavioral guidance system. Okay? So I've talked about this, but I didn't give it that label, you see. I was saying that, you know, we basically just enjoying the world and forgetting that this is our movie. We're just basically, oh, wow, what's going on? I don't like this, or I love that over there, you know? And in the meanwhile, and so this is a car, like I said, this is a car in this behavioral guidance system. This car is moving, we're in the passenger seat, and our beliefs are in the driver's seat. So the mind that is not practicing mindfulness, you see, it's not practicing mindfulness as far as being present in the moment. See, it's wandering. See, we do a lot of mind wandering. We go in the future, we think about the future, you know, we get anxious about it and things like that, so we're not in the present moment. We start thinking about the past, we start thinking about things that we experienced in the past, we're not in the present moment. You know? We start doing so many different things, where we just get distracted doing something or whatever, you know, and so what happens in these moments, you see, this behavioral guidance system goes on autopilot. It starts taking over. And so we then experience it. So now we're just going along for the ride. Everybody with me?
Yeah, we are.
Okay. Okay. So, now, I'm going to talk about these things. I'm talking about these things just so that you know what's going on behind the scenes. See, that's what I like to do. I like to pull the veil back. So you can make your own choice. If you want to be on autopilot, that's okay. No problem. No problem. But at the same time, you can't have your cake and eat it too. You see, you can't just say I want to be on autopilot because I don't want to really be mindful of my thoughts, but at the same time, I want to be happy. At the same time, I want to be, no, it doesn't work that way. You see, you have to be mindful. You have to basically be, like I said, a metaphysician is like a chemist. A chemist knows what thoughts that they're putting into their experiences, and if these experiences are not desirable after they really looked at it, well, let me start changing it then. A powerful metaphysician doesn't put all the extra judgment and everything and labels as far as bad and all this other stuff. Okay, it's just like a scientist. Okay, let me do something else now. All right, this is not the desirable result. No problem. We don't have to have all the extra stuff. We don't need all the baggage. Okay, all right, you guys get the point. We're also going to talk about faith, because faith is like a lifeline. It is a way that we connect with divine mind. We can naturally do it. We don't have to try to do it. We naturally can do it. We already have a connection, but see, we activate that connection just with intention, just simply with intention. And this divine mind has a superior intelligence. And it makes things a whole lot easier when the personality is actually willing to get out of the way and stop meddling and start getting out of the way with all of its thoughts about itself and stuff like that. It can really make life a whole lot smoother. A whole lot smoother. But that's difficult for some of us. Some of us, we want to be in charge, we want to control it, I get it. So, got to get my time. So sorry about that. It's okay. The Saints don't play right after that. So we're good. We are good. I found that as I played the Saints don't play. Okay, cool. Because I had Mike, we want to have a shorter song, but we want to get people out of here so you can see the Saints. Said the Saints don't play the night. Oh, okay. All right, so they really talk. They really talk. Okay. All right. So here we go. So, with this information I've just given you, how do we then create for ourselves the lifestyles that we deserve? How do we then create for ourselves what they keep talking about? People talk about in all religions, the kingdom of heaven, nirvana, and all these other different religions. But how do we begin to experience that? Okay, so we're going to talk about that. Because if we are going to do that, if you are going to really take charge of your life, you have to start being accountable. And so the first thing I'm going to say is it takes three things, number one, and then I'm going to go into each thing. It takes a mindset, it takes restructuring your beliefs, it takes utilizing your faith, and it takes prayer. So we'll get into each one. So first thing we're going to talk about is establishing a mindset. Now, I've talked about this before. The mind that thinks it knows everything won't learn. So in order to set the mind up, a good mind hack is to remind yourself that you don't know anything. And that will open you up to new information. That automatically tells the mind to begin to be open and receptive. Telling yourself that you don't know anything, or something, I see what's going on, and a part of me wants to judge this, but I really don't know what's going on, to be honest with you. I really don't even know. Now my mind is going to sit back without trying to apply its own conclusions, you see, because it has a lack of a lot of information, and it's trying to apply conclusions, and these conclusions are based on what this mind thinks about itself, and it's called projection. That's what that's called. You're not learning anything. You're not seeing anything. You're just seeing your own reflection in that. Okay. So the right mindset, first of all, a learning mindset, an open-minded mindset is what it actually takes in the things that I'm about to talk about. The next thing is restructuring our belief. Now that's going to take some time. We got a lot of beliefs that are in there. A lot of beliefs. Some of them are cherished beliefs. Some of them we actually have associated with our identity. And let me tell you something, you are more than a belief. You are God. There is no belief that defines you. But some of us feel that. Some of us feel that some of these beliefs are tied up with our mentally constructed self-image in our unconscious mind, you see? So there's going to be dissonance that we're going to experience. We're not going to want to face those types of things. We think that our very existence is going to be threatened if we touch some of these cherished beliefs that we associate ourselves with. So I'm not saying that this is going to be easy. I'm not saying this is going to be easy at all. Okay? But what I am saying is that it will be rewarding. What I am saying is that you will be grateful for having taken the journey and actually doing it. So let's just get right to it. In restructuring our beliefs, the very first thing to do in restructuring your beliefs is to begin to observe and train the mind for judgments, limitations, and negativity. I'm going to get into each one. So as judgments, let me tell you first of all, let me give you the big picture as far as why. Okay? And I started touching on it in the meditation. We are not separate from our thoughts. See, we think we can think something about someone else and that this thought is somehow going to just go over there. You know, we think that our thought is just going to, it's not going to touch us. It's going to go over there. You're a horrible person. You're bad. I don't like that person. You know what this person did? This politician or whatever. I sure hope they get theirs and stuff like that. Let me tell you something. Your thoughts are not separate from you in any way. In any way. They are not separate from the thinker at all. Okay? So when we are thinking these thoughts, guess where they're going? They're going into the unconscious, into the construct, into what constructs our world. They're going into our unconscious mind. It's just soaking it all up like a sponge. It's not going anywhere. It's not leaving anywhere. It's not, leaving out of your body and going to somebody else's body or whatever it is that you think is happening with your thoughts. No. It is soaking up that judgment. It is soaking up that negativity. It is soaking up that limitation. And then it is gradually readjusting the construct of your world to accommodate these thoughts. Some of us are like, man, I need to watch what I think now, So I didn't know it did all that. Let me tell you something. This is science, and this is also spirituality. That whole thing about judge not, and you will, judge not, you will not be judged, and forgive, you will be forgiven, and things like that. This is why. This is why. Okay? This is why. So I'm giving you that explanation, number one. You cannot separate yourself from your thought. Once you think it, it's your thought. You have to own it. It's yours. Now, I'm not saying that you can't harmonize the thought. I'm not saying that you can't forgive the thought. I'm not saying that you can't transform the thought. Yes, you can. But own up to the fact that there is a price to be paid when you are thinking negative thoughts about people, about situations, not just people, situations. When you're judging things, judging people, so maybe there's some people that hurt you. Maybe there's some people that, you really feel, I don't like those people. Whoever those people are, you are putting this into your own unconscious about you. That's what you're doing. Now listen, you're free to go ahead and continue to do that. But then, when you wonder why you're not happy, and you wonder why you need therapy, and you wonder, you need somebody to help you sort through all of that, I'm just letting you know why. And you can clean up this stuff yourself. It just takes some time. So, you have to train your mind this way. You have to train it. You have to listen. You know, I understand by habit, you may automatically think of some politicians or whatever as far as in a negative light or whatever. I would invite you to begin to change that. Because let me tell you something. Everybody is inherently good. Everyone. I don't care what you read in the papers. Okay? Everyone is inherently good. All right? Begin to believe that. Okay? That everyone is inherently good. Yes, we go through our darkest stormy nights. Do you not go through your darkest stormy night? Of course you do. Do you not fall asleep sometime or forget who you are? Of course you do. Do you not sometimes need reminding? Of course you do. So what makes you think that your brother or sister, whoever they are, don't sometimes need reminding and things like that? And don't worry about what's going on with their journey. Their journey is sacred. Their journey has a purpose, just like your journey is sacred. Your journey has a purpose. None of us has the authority to judge God. None of us. None of us. So, now I'm just talking about that right now. Now, I'm going to get into some specifics. Like limitation. We've already talked about the judgment. Limitation. One of the things I was always grateful for is that my mom taught me that I could do anything. I mean, she brainwashed me to believe I could do anything. I didn't question that. I didn't question mom. Mom was like next to God. For a little boy, you know, who was like 5 years old, mom is like God, okay? Okay? Single mother, okay? Mom is God. All right? And so, you know, she would over and over and over until I just, you know, I believed it. You know? That was part of my training, that I could do anything. And she would sit me down when I came home from school because she wanted to know what people were teaching her son. And she would have me recount everything that my teachers told me. And there were times where she would correct me, say, no, you will not believe that. What does mommy teach you? I can do anything. That's right. You sure can. You can do anything. And tomorrow, mommy's going to go let your teacher know. And so there I was, like, afraid and stuff like that. And my mother would, just let them have it as far as, like, you know, no profanity, nothing like that. She was very classy. And she was like, you told my son, da, 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 da. Let me tell you something. I raised my son to believe that he can do anything, and you will not tell him different. That was my mom. She fiercely guarded my beliefs because I was at a fragile age at that time. She wanted to make sure that no one was going to interfere with her curriculum with her son. Period. And because of that, I don't doubt what I can do. I don't question what I can do. You see? It's natural. You see? And this is something that was passed on in my family. This is a legacy. This was passed on to her from her mother. And this was passed on to my grandmother from her mother. You see, this is passed down. This is a legacy that was passed down in my family. And I'm passing that legacy on to you. You can do anything. Do not subscribe to any limitations. I have talked to my brothers and sisters in this community, and sometimes my brothers and sisters will tell me what they can't do. And that, to me, that's like some nails on a chalkboard. I tell you, it's like, oh my God. Because it's like, you know, I know what you can do. I know what you can do. I know what you're capable of. I know how powerful you are. I know who you are. And so, you know, I was just like, you know, I wouldn't say what you can't do. And some of you have heard me say that because I've said it to you. You know? I understand that's what you think. But I'm telling you, anything you see me do, you can do too. And more. Anything. You can do anything. There's nothing that you can't do. Nothing that you can't do. Nothing. So, Negativity. And see what we're talking about when I say restructuring your beliefs. What do you think your beliefs are made of? Your beliefs are formed by your thoughts. As we continue to say certain things to ourselves, we begin to believe them. So this is a gradual breaking down of some of these old beliefs and restructuring new beliefs. These are new beliefs. You see, new beliefs of limitlessness, new beliefs of non-judgment, new beliefs of positivity and constructive thinking. Imagine what you can do then. But it takes some monitoring. You gotta monitor your thoughts. You gotta stay on it. You gotta stay on it. You know, I know when you get some friends and stuff like that, and they want to invite you to talking about that person, whoever that person is, you know, I would invite you to refrain. Don't talk about them. Don't talk about anybody. Not negatively. If you want to talk about somebody, talk positively, because that's what it works that way too. That positivity goes into your consciousness too. Don't talk about anybody negatively. I don't care who it is. Don't judge anybody. And don't place limitations on yourself. Don't place limitations on other people. Guess where that's going? Guess where that limitation's going? Go right in your unconscious mind. It's going to be assimilated. And you're going to experience it in the construct of the world, in the theme that you're experiencing. That's right. Everybody with me? Yeah. Okay. All right. You know, because sometimes, you know, I just want to make sure. Okay. All right. Okay. So, and meditate. Meditate. I know in a couple of my talks I said, well, you know, God help us don't meditate. Let me tell you something. Restructuring your beliefs, you have to meditate. Now, if you don't know how to meditate, if you need to find the willpower to meditate, and every time you try to meditate, there's something coming up and stuff like that, then I would invite you to look at part 2 of God Is You, God Is Me. We're talking about creating a reward system. I don't have time to talk about that today. But go to see part 2 on YouTube or Facebook of God Is You, God Is Me, where it actually talks about how to train yourself to meditate. And stop allowing yourself to have an automatic behavioral guidance system and begin to consciously control what is going on and the things that are coming into your life. So meditate. Meditation is how we harmonize, monitor, and modify our thoughts if necessary. That is how we do that. That is how we do that. Okay. Now, that's going to have your hands full as far as restructuring your beliefs. And that's going to take some time. But gradually in time, you're going to definitely see the benefit of that. Utilizing your faith. Utilizing your faith. Faith is belief in the unseen. That's number 2. How do you utilize your faith? Well, talk to Spirit. Build a relationship with Spirit. Ask Spirit questions. You are not talking to yourself. Any self that you're talking to your higher self. So when you're in your personality form, you're coming from your personality, that higher self is a godsend. So as you begin to build this relationship, then you begin to see that there really is something here, some sort of a presence here, some sort of whatever you want to call it, you know, my big buddy, whatever, that is really looking out for me, that is really supporting me, that really loves me. It is so powerful. And you will find yourself sometimes at tears, you know, that there really is a force that's on your side. And these will be tears of gratitude. If you are not utilizing your faith, you are not coming anywhere near your potential. There are so many things. And let me tell you something. Utilize your faith because this divine mind, it loves to defy what we think is possible. It loves to do that. You know, if I was to say that there was something that it loved to do, That's what it loves to do. To defy what we think is possible and create new understandings where we know that there are greater possibilities. And all you have to do is tap into it and then move forward. Trust. My mother wrote about this in her first book, about when I manifested a computer. And it was called Praying to a Storm. And so I was 12. I was at this church. And I wanted an Apple IIe computer. You know? And I was getting raised by a single mom. You know? She had bills to pay. But I wasn't letting that stop me, that limiting belief stop me. You know? I'm getting this Apple IIe computer. You know, this one that I, work on in the classrooms, at school and things like that. I want this one. It has all the different things I want, has all the different features I want. So we would go to these different computer stores. We could never go someplace and walk past a computer store and we weren't going in there. I was like, we've been looking at all your shoes now. It's me, this is me. So we would go right in the computer store where I could then talk to the salesman and stuff like that. And so here was another limiting thing, okay? Apple had stopped manufacturing the Apple IIe at that point. They were promoting the Apple IIc. So, and that was more plug and play. I didn't want plug and play. I wanted the Apple IIe because it was expandable. There was all sorts of things you could do. You could open it up and get all kind of cards and just all sorts of things that you could do with it and just build the type of system that you wanted to build, and that's what I wanted to do, okay? So I didn't let it get those limitations get in my way. None of them. Okay? What about the money? Apple IIe like this, even used, would cost about $1,700, $1,500 if you're lucky. We don't have that kind of money. See, I wasn't letting that get in my way. I was not letting that get in my way. Okay? I am in my room, on my desk where I did my homework, I set a space where my computer was going to be. Now this was before they ever came out with the secret. Way before. It was in 1982. Secret wasn't out by then. Nobody had heard of secret. I created a space on my desk. This was my computer, and nothing was allowed to enter in that space where my computer was. That's what my computer was. Okay? I was going to get my computer, okay? And I had things on right and left, but nothing was in that space for that Apple IIe. And at night before I went to bed, after I did my homework, I would sit there typing on my computer. Yeah, sure did. So we went to a computer store one day, and then somebody tells my mom, well, I do know somebody that has a system like your son is talking about, so he gives me the guy's number. And so we call him up, we go see it. It has I only wanted 128K. This had 256K. This had $1,000 worth of software. It had all kind of stuff, right? I was like, yes, this is me, right? So he was selling it for $1,500, which is still a good deal, but at the same time, again, it's a single mile, I wasn't going to let that stop me. I'm going to call my dad, okay? I'm going to call him up. So my dad was trying to talk me into getting another computer. He was trying to talk me into getting some of the cheaper computers out there. There was a Commodore 64. I didn't want that. No. He was trying to talk me into getting some of different. No. I want the Apple IIe because it has this. I'll be able to do this. I'll be able to do that. Stuff like that. It'll grow with me as I grow. Things like that. So he said, okay, well, I'll set a down payment. So he set a down payment. Okay. But that down payment was enough for me to take that computer home. So I took the computer home. As soon as I got the computer, I started programming on it. See, I had already taught myself programming by reading in the back of the magazines, computer magazines. I had a whole stack of them, and learning the code and stuff like that. And I taught myself programming. So I started programming. I created a text-based adventure game where my friends would come over and go in mazes and fight fight creatures and bats and wolves and all kind of different things. I created a tic-tac-toe game that learned as it lost, it played better the next time around. I created a flight simulator. That was the last thing I created, a flight simulator, because you don't afford a flight simulator program and stuff like that. So I created one. It was kind of rudimentary and stuff like that. They had the graphics and everything. They had rudimentary controls and stuff like that. The scenery would change and things like that. I did all of that. So about 2 months later, the guy who I got the computer from, he came. Now, I didn't know that he hadn't gotten any more money. I had not known that at the time. I was happy to see him when he came in there. I was so happy to see this guy. You know, I invited him in the room and stuff like that. He came in there, and I showed him the things that I created on that computer since he gave it to me. The text-based adventure game. So we played it together. I showed him the flight simulator. I showed him, I broke it and stopped the code, stopped it from running, and showed him the code, showed him how I wrote it, and things like that. I showed him the tic-tac-toe game. He left, and I never saw him again. He was not about to take that computer from this child who had done more things with it than he had ever done. I didn't even realize until I was an adult that that's what he was here for. I thought he was just here to come see me. I didn't know what he was there for. I was all excited. If I would have known what he was there for, I'd have been crying and stuff like that and all kind of other stuff, you know? I had no idea what he was there for. He couldn't do it. So, tell you something, you can do anything with faith. There is nothing you cannot do. You can do anything. So remember that. What kind of life are you living? Now, these are tools. These are just tools that God has. These are tools of God. You are God's. I don't know how many times, like I said, but you know something, I'm going to keep on saying it until you believe it. You are God's. You can literally do anything. You can literally move mountains. There is a power that is within you that rivals an atomic bomb that lives within you, that you can create anything. That's how powerful you are. I got an affirmation for y'all. All right. All right. Okay. Everybody repeat after me. I am limitless in my abilities, and my faith moves mountains.
I am limitless in my abilities, and my faith moves mountains.
Y'all would sound like y'all really believe that. You know? Come on, one more time. Come on, one more time. I am limitless in my abilities, and my faith moves mountains. That's what I'm talking about, okay? You have everything in the palm of your hands that you have everything in the palm of your hands. You are God. Remember that. Be God's. Be who you are. Stop settling. Stop settling for second best. Stop settling. Know who you are. Claim who you are. Now go and be that light that your Father, Mother, God intended for you to be. Thank you. This is our time in our service where we can show our appreciation for this ministry with our tithes and our offerings. All right. Divine love flowing through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Divine love flowing through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Divine love flowing through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. In the name of the Father, in the name of the Son, in the name of the Holy Spirit, it is so now. announcements. First, the electronic giving is available in the lobby, just some blinky at the desk, and you can scan the QR code. Also, there are, I'm having more. So, we have some invite cards where you can, first of all, do you all enjoy this service? Do you all enjoy what this ministry is? You can let other people know about it too, you know? I mean, don't just try to keep it all to yourself, you know, try to keep all the good stuff to yourself. You know, there's some light that we want to share, we want to spread it out, spread the light. You know, this city so desperately needs it, you know? So we're not asking you to do anything, we're not asking you to sell anybody, just give them a card. If they come, they come, they don't, they don't. But at the same time, you create the opportunity by giving them the card. Everybody, can I get amen? Amen. Okay, all right. I think that's about it. Oh, prayer chaplain program was a huge success, and that program, and we will begin offering prayer after the service, starting in the first Sunday in September. So first Sunday in September, we will have prayer chaplains. So I'm so grateful for that. So if you would like confidential prayer, you will be able to pray with a trained prayer chaplain for whatever your prayer is about. We want to support you. So I believe that is about it. So let's say our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. The Lord watches between me and thee while we are absent, one from the other. He helps us to know that we are all one together through our Lord Jesus Christ. All right, amen. All right, let's all join hands, see if we can keep the circle and sing our peace song.